was infected. Like.
Welcome back to the channel, you guys. My name is Mod. Today we're diving into Wolfman, the latest horror film from Leigh Whannell. And you know, he's the mind behind the 3 Saw films and the Insidious chapters. So this man knows his way around horror, not just horror, gruesome horror at that. But this time, Whannell, he tackles an old school monster tale, a classic folktale wrapped up to what's supposed to be a larger dark monster universe. Another shared universe, you guys. Is anyone up for that? I digress. Let's get into it. The story unfolds in the secluded woods and misty mountains area of Oregon, and it takes us back to 1995. There's rumors of this mysterious creature who's swirling around for the last couple years. It's a local myth at this point. But instead of this movie being like a large town-wide battle to find out who this Wolfman is, it really zooms in really tight on the 3 central characters. We got Chris Abbott as the husband, Julia Garner as the wife, and Matilda Firth as the daughter, Ginger. And then when you have this type of movie, it's really based upon the actors and actresses carrying their work. How did they do? Honestly, I think they delivered. Julia Garner carrying the emotional weight and tying the story's threads together. Abbott being very solid in his character work. His sickness became the focal point, but he definitely sells it pretty well. There was rumors that Gosling was supposed to be this part. I don't know how that would have turned out, to be honest. Gosling's my boy, but Abbott became very unrecognizable at the end of this film, and that's what you try to shoot for, and they did a pretty good job. But Julia gets the MVP, selling that tension that's holding that unraveling family together. That's always something that's going to be, you know, a drawing point to a lot of people. The movie kicks off with a flashback to Abbott's childhood at a very young age, setting up that trauma and that rocky family dynamic. And then it really fast forwards us to his adulthood. He's now a father, doing his best to teach his young life the lessons to his daughter through his own flawed way. As a parent, that struck a chord as well. Needing to protect and to provide for your child in this universe, that's a whole job in itself. At the core of the movie, it's very straightforward. A man struggling to protect his family while wrestling with his own transformation into the savage werewolf. But what you'll really hear is for the thrills, the gore, the raw intensity that the Wolfman brings. And let me tell you, it does deliver on those fronts. I jumped a few times, it caught me off guard, and y'all know me, I'm not the biggest horror buff. I'm not. And when you hear a good story that ties you in but can scare you, you can count me into that. The Saw movies did a really good job. Even though it's more brutality behind it, there was always a good storyline that was building. And Whannell, you could see those transparities here. But still, not everything really hits its mark. While the suspense had me gripping my hoodie a little bit tighter than I wanted to, the payoff didn't land as much as I thought it was going to. The inner conflict between Abbott's humanity and the beast that was compelling him, but the emotional stakes between the husband and the wife felt a little underdeveloped. The relationship didn't build up enough for the cinematic moments to fully resonate. Like, there's a lot of core tension moments between the two. It took me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of mesmerizing, looking into one's inner self, and it was just like, at what point does Abbott's character say, hey, I'm still able to control this? Because it felt like he had control the entire time, but there were obvious pinpoint moments where he just was off the rails. Now, let's talk about just the transformation itself. When it's all said and done, this might be the most believable or realistic Wolfman that you've seen on screen. Like, if you're stuck out in the woods, first off, that's your first mistake. You shouldn't be out there in the first place. You heard about this creature. This is exactly how it would feel and look. And I appreciate the gritty realism that they went for, because they literally, from cheekbones, from his jawlines to his fangs, that was fire to me. I definitely enjoyed it. But then a lot of people have the, how can I say this, controversy when it comes to CGI or VFX. And sometimes, well, a lot of times they were rough. There was these moments where it was like this inner thought process, and it felt like I was playing the PS1 game at times. And honestly, but the practical moments worked, but the budget constraints were very clear. All in all, Wolfman is a dark, very dark, suspenseful and raw. It delivers on the atmosphere, and it takes a grounded take to the werewolf mythos. While the family drama and emotional beats didn't really fully pay off for me, the movie shines in the intense moments and the grim deception of a man losing himself. It's a fun watch, but you have to temper your expectations a little bit. All right, what you guys really have came here for, what you truly been waiting on. So what do I personally give 2025's iteration of Wolfman? save for stream.
We have every streaming service on the planet.
As always, thank you for taking the time out to check out a review. What did you think about Wolfman and this take on the classic tale? Personally, as someone who isn't a die-hard fan in this genre, but I absolutely love the concept. I'm curious, what's your favorite Wolfman story? What's one I should be checking out? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure you tell someone you love them. We love y'all. God bless y'all. And we will check you guys in the next one.
Bye.